Hello?
Yeah, is this Comic Relief After Hours?
No, this is Patrick.
Are you sure it's not Comic Relief After Hours?
No, this is Patrick!
Oh, you split my sides, dude. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Comic Relief After Hours. Patrick was wrong. This is Comic Relief After Hours. I am here joined with Josh. Say hello.
Hello!
And you guys might remember from last week, Dallas making another appearance trying to get himself one of those really neat animated avatars down below.
No, this is Patrick.
Guys, we got plenty of things to talk with you today. The first thing, of course, last week, everyone knows by now, if you haven't seen it, what the fuck are you doing? But Avengers Infinity War dropped. It's probably last trailer, the last big trailer we're going to get. If you guys go over to, shameless plug for the James Eversole Jr. Movie Podcast, if you guys go over there, I did a long 3-hour thing that's got split up into several videos with James talking all about this trailer. So we're only going to hit a few of the highlights and specifics. I'm going to let Dallas take it away. Anything that you particularly wanted to talk about with Avengers Infinity War?
I was really happy to see the dynamics between Spider-Man and the different characters. At the very end, that humor with Doctor Strange, it made me really happy as a Spider-Man fan. Made me really happy.
Yeah.
Josh?
Well, me being a Thanos fan, I was really appreciate. I really appreciate it. We saw the helmet, which everybody was freaking out about.
Where's his helmet?
Yeah, where's his helmet?
Where's his armor?
Where's his helmet, bro?
He's pink.
Yeah. He's pink. Why is he pink, bro?
A bunch of bitches, man.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of mildly hoping that this was all it was going to end on the same kind
With
of
him throwing the fucking moon?
No,
Oh, okay.
not the trailer itself, but the movie itself. I was kind of
gotcha.
hoping it would probably end this somewhat similar to the way that Infinity Gauntlet ends with Nebula.
Snapping the fingers?
Yeah. And it looks like to
interestingly,
me,
we didn't see any Nebula. I don't think we've seen Nebula. Have we seen her in any of the trailers?
But with the way that they kind of specify with Gamora, it looks like we're seeing a little bit of a flashback to when he gets Gamora. It looks like they're going to replace the whole Nebula part that from the Infinity Gauntlet maybe with Gamora.
It's kind of like in Guardians, it's like, you turn my favorite daughter against me. So I think, Gamora probably is going to be a little bit of a substitute for Nebula.
And I think I don't know why, but I think that it might be they're going to replace that. If you've ever read Infinity Gauntlet, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then the other thing, too, now I'm lost for fucking words.
I'll talk about a couple things that I didn't
go
get
for
to
it.
talk
No,
about
back to
on
me.
the other one. But one of the things I really liked was the opening music. I like how they took the classic Avengers theme song and they slowed it down, kind of give it an eerie, ominous feel to it. I dug that. And then the other thing I really liked too is when Gamora is talking about Thanos, and then she's with the snap of his finger, and it just cuts out sound. And the way they edited that together was done really well. It set the pace for the rest of the trailer.
DC, pay attention.
Yeah, no kidding. That's how you put together a fucking trailer. That was a great trailer.
Hey, they pay attention to their trailer house. To the point where they're like, hey, you want to edit the whole goddamn movie?
Yeah, why don't we just give
Why
you
don't
this
we
job?
just have you edit the whole goddamn movie?
By the way, if anyone thinks that we're stoking the flames here, it was actually our resident DC fan who even brought it up.
Yeah, I know, right?
But another thing I really liked too is we got to see what I thought was genuine humanity from Thanos when he's like, I hope they remember you. Because it didn't seem like he was kind of goading or he was antagonizing whoever he's talking about. I assume Tony, especially with the way it's cut together, but it seemed like he's talking to Tony. But it didn't seem like he was being a dick. He's like, look, you put up a good fight. You thoroughly impressed me for some mere mortal.
Warrior respect.
Yeah, when I wipe you out in half of your race, hopefully they kind of immortalize you in a way, at least your memory. So I thought that was kind of neat. There's a lot of great things to unpack in this trailer, but
there's so much.
We don't have time to talk about everything. What's the one highlight for you, Josh? The one highlight in this trailer. What was the best part?
I think
about
everybody would probably say. I mean, I think it's two debatable scenes, but I think mine is Cap holding back
the gauntlet.
Oh my God, it's such a good scene.
I don't think you can debate it. The one that got me the most excited was that, because I was like, oh my God. But
see, I thought it would be
Spider-Man one was because I
Spider-Man,
laughed. I was like, okay, this is the humor in a right place. I enjoy this.
Side note, his Iron Spider armor looked way better in that shot than his previous things.
Which I'm glad.
Yeah, dude, I will say, the highlight, Cap catching the gauntlet. We've never seen Cap look that angry, that like he's stressing himself to his absolute physical peak limit like that before, and he just looks fucking angry, giving it his all. Sent chills down my spine.
Thanos' face. It's like a slight surprise, but not overly surprised.
But also impressed.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah,
wow,
it looks
I
more like
respect
impressed.
this.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa, but I'm not too surprised. I'm going to kill you in a minute, but I'm appreciating
Yeah, it
this
looks-
moment.
Yeah, I didn't
He
expect
looks
this of
impressed.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does look impressed, and I love that it's Cap.
The one thing about this movie, though, is like I'm worried. Well, I'm not worried. Never mind. It's well, like my favorite thing about Thanos, right? Is the whole dynamic between him and Death. Like that whole, I know it's like, oh, Josh is a softie.
yeah.
No, but I just like love that whole, like he does whatever he can for her, and it's obvious that, which it makes sense because it won't translate well to a movie. It's obvious that it's not. What they're going to do is just like they're going to put Death's beliefs into Thanos with the world being overpopulated and wanting the universe to be cut down in half, and they're going to have it just where that's Thanos' own mindset, and they're not even going to throw Death in there, which...
Yeah, I was talking to a
Kinda
customer
bummed me, but-
earlier today, and he's like, dude, you think they're going to do the Lady Death thing? I'm like, obviously they're not going to do the Lady Death thing, which inevitably... it changes the entire motivation for why Thanos is doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
I actually had someone come in today. I was like, "Hey man, if you want to prepare for the Infinity War movie, read Infinity Gun." He's like, "Oh no, I don't want to spoil it." I'm like, and it just led me to go, "No, they're not gonna. The book won't spoil it. They'll take things from this, but because Thanos' motivations are so much different than what we get in the comic books, this movie is not going to go the way a lot of us
Trust
think."
me, guys, you're not going to see Silver Surfer and Adam Warlock teaming up together and watching everything from afar.
No, and that honestly. Would be
And then the
kinda cool.
Watcher sitting there going, "Oh, maybe I should jump in."
Or Megas saying, I mean, we're not going to see any of these people.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah.
All right, and before we move on, I want to go, what was your least favorite thing about the trailer? If you had to guess, Dallas.
Oh,
Well, not
man.
guess, but if you had to just, on the spot now, just decide, okay, there's one part of this trailer that I just didn't care for.
I don't think I had a moment I didn't care for, honestly.
Okay.
On the spot, I don't think I could pick something.
Josh, anything to you?
No, I mean, I'm thinking about it, and I don't think there was really a whole lot of dull moments in the trailer.
I will say it was cool to see Doctor Strange and Star-Lord kind of teaming up their powers
Yeah.
as he's running on.
Oh, yeah.
That was
See, that
neat.
was something
Here's
I
the
heard
thing.
about a long time ago being in that, like, preview trailer that we never got. That
Oh,
was at
really?
some con.
Oh, yeah.
I read the script for it, like,
Yeah.
and that was one of the things we saw Star-Lord jumping on his shapes he was making, and I was like, that'd be great. The trailer came out, and I didn't see it, and I was like, oh.
It's
it was
always
someone blowing smoke.
cool to see these guys teaming
yeah.
up their abilities. You know, like in Age of Ultron when Cap throws a shield up and Thor hits with his hammer, just sends it fucking
Oh, yeah.
flying
Oh,
through.
yeah.
You know, Age of Ultron bots. I'll tell you, my least favorite part of this trailer was probably the Star-Lord, Robert Downey or Tony Stark interaction.
Your plan, it sucks.
Yeah, I fucking honestly, I was just waiting for Tony to backhand him the way that he did Cap in like the end of Civil War. You know, I just wanted Star-Lord to shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna lie, just shut the fuck up, dude. I'm not a huge fan of Star-Lord. I'm not a huge fan of the Guardians, honestly, in general. I like the first movie enough, but the movies themselves, the characters, I'm not highly attached to. And when he was saying that to Tony, I was just like, dude,
You
kick
felt
his
like
ass.
they were telling you that Tony was adopted all over again.
Shut up. I'm like, dude, do you know who you're talking to? This is fucking Tony Stark, like one of the most brilliant men.
doesn't.
I know.
He has no idea.
He's raised in space.
I know, and that's why I just want him to shut the fuck up.
Do you know who this is? No.
I just want him to...
I'm still using a fucking mixtape, like
I
a
think I
cassette
just
tape.
don't... I don't really like the character
He's
of
a
Star-Lord
fucking
that much.
Walkman right now, man. I don't know who the fuck Tony
not
Stark
anymore.
is. Oh no, now he's
Not
using
anymore.
Microsoft Zoom.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't really like Star-Lord, and I think it's partially derived from the idea that it feels like Star-Lord was a cheap knockoff version of Tony Stark to begin
I agree
with.
with that. I can
And
agree with
so
that.
it's just like I don't need to see these two guys bantering back and forth that way because I don't really like Star-Lord being that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially if you go back and you read old Star-Lord stuff, Annihilation and stuff like that, he wasn't like that.
No,
he was nothing like
Annihilation,
that.
Thanos Imperative, he's nothing like
No,
that.
he
at
is. He's like a what you would expect a leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy to
Yeah,
be.
somebody to kind of like a Captain Marvel or a Captain
Yeah.
America, maybe a little more snarky, but
No,
I mean,
he wasn't
he's
a
not,
smart ass.
but he's also not a fucking idiot
and
either.
an idiot.
Yeah.
Like
The way Chris Pratt delivers the line, it just makes him look stupid, like a giant toddler. I don't know.
It does feel out of place with the rest of the trailer. I didn't mind the scene, but I do agree that when you hit that point, it kind of stops the excitement because it's a weird placed scene. I guess is the way.
And I think the Russos are gonna maybe have a little bit of trouble juggling the comedic aspects of Guardians with their tone in like Winter Soldier and Civil War. That might be a really tough tightrope walk for them. And that scene for me, I was just like, I can't wait to just move past that in the movie already.
I think the best way to juggle it, as long as they avoid Guardians 2 humor and go more Guardians 1.
Yeah.
Interesting fact about Guardians 2. I gotta interrupt you guys because I gotta let you guys know this.
I'm waiting for the Star-Lord joke here.
No,
he's
it's
gonna
nothing.
be he's gonna be Star-Lord.
No,
I'm gonna Tony Stark.
It's almost completely off topic to the point where it's not even worth putting in the podcast.
But
I'm going to do it anyways because
Okay.
I don't give a shit because I like to throw things off track. So for my dad's birthday, I got him Thor Ragnarok, right? And my dad is the reason why I'm into comic books. I was raised on it because of him. And his favorite characters is Thor and Hulk and Daredevil, but Thor and Hulk, top ones. And so I got him Thor Ragnarok thinking he's going to love it because he hadn't seen it yet.
Oh, no.
He had a rough year. He and then I go and I see him last weekend. I go, hey, what's up? And he goes, yeah, I watched Thor Ragnarok finally. It was so good.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say he hated it.
Wait a minute, I'm not done yet. He goes, it was so good. And I'm like, yeah, I thought you would like it because it definitely has a lot of Kirby aspect to it, which is around the time that he was really, that's part of what he likes. And then he looks at it and he goes, it was so good. But I watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 finally.
Oh.
Man, that was a good movie. I was like, what the fuck?
See,
instantly. I just lost respect for my dad. I don't know if I want to walk around with you anymore.
I don't know if I can be seen with you in comic shops.
Yeah,
I think
Mom, divorce this man immediately. Excuse me, is this comic relief after hours yet? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think when you talk to people that don't read comics that have watched the Marvel movies or the DC movies for that matter, it comes down to not comparing it to the comics, obviously. Like I talked to people about Justice League, that I didn't say anything about Superman's mustache. I didn't say anything about the film. I was just like, what'd you think of it? They liked it. They didn't notice his mustache. I tried this 2 different people. Didn't say anything too. They went in and didn't notice it. And I was like, how?
I will
How
say
did
that
you
people
not?
around this area don't seem to be the most educated on film, though. So,
Well, but then talking about Guardians Volume 2, the people that, have been following the movies but not reading the comics, they were like, I think that was a rather good film. And I was like,
yeah.
okay, I respect your opinion while I disagree, but...
Yeah. See, my dad, he used to read the comic books. He, he's the reason why I got into comics. But you're right, though, because, my girlfriend, she actually likes Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
If he read Guardians growing up, though, when he was younger and when they were... It wasn't even this team. He might not even be familiar with this particular team of Guardians. It would be like Yondu and Starhawk and those guys. So...
Yeah. Still the same thing, but
Yeah.
Right.
But but to be honest, when I watched the first Guardians of the Galaxy, I only was my knowledge on Guardians of the Galaxy was not
Honestly,
very.
all I'd read was Thanos Imperative and Annihilation. That was all I knew about
when that
them.
came out. I read older stuff that was not the same team as Yondu and all them. I read those, and I think I read a little bit of Annihilation at that time. I think I've read some of that because I wasn't at the time we didn't.
Wait,
have
was
a
it
comic book
Infinity
shop.
Gauntlet or Infinity War that Drax and Gamora were featured heavily in? Was it
Infinity War?
Okay, yeah, I read that too.
And I think also Infinity Crusade.
And that was when Drax was completely different than he is now. A completely different.
You do get
Drax.
glimpses of them in Gauntlet, but they're heavily in there because Gamora's teamed up with Warlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about Drax. Even the look of Drax is vastly
He has a
different.
cape.
Yeah, they literally drew him to be Hulk.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Space Hulk. But anyway, guys, we'll go back to Infinity War. Anything else you guys want to say on the trailer?
I don't even know what we were saying before you got us off on that.
How about
I
how
get you
about
guys
this?
off all the time, buddy. I'll get you guys off right now.
Back to our DP2?
Is this why we're not wearing pants? You mandated this one, not
I
me.
thought that it would be a really nice, comfortable way of doing this podcast.
Yeah,
today.
and
I'm not saying I'm uncomfortable.
yeah. I like I've said in previous podcasts, I'm very comfortable in the nude. So
and you should be.
yeah, thank you.
I'm
not very trimmed body hair
You're not
right now.
trimmed, but you're trimmed body wise.
Oh, thank you. Man. I'm trying to get that summer bod.
Oh,
back.
yeah, I'm seeing it.
Okay, anyway, so all right, how about last little thing for Infinity War? Predictions on who is the first major death in this movie, Dallas. I'm gonna go
I'm
over.
saying Tony Stark.
Oh, the first major death of the movie.
Ooh, Tony.
Major death. I don't think we'll have a lot. We'll have civilians and casualties, but first major death. I think they're going to make a big impact with it.
Okay, well, I'm going to vote Loki. Loki is probably the first major death of the movie. Josh?
Damn, you just threw that. Oh, goddamn. I was originally going to say Vision because they're and then obviously they'll bring him back in some way. But no, I can see it being Loki.
I think it's going to be.
And
Loki.
you know what? I'd be completely happy. Don't get me wrong. I like Loki, but
He's
I'm
been
tired
abused,
of seeing
yeah.
him.
Do you want to hear my prediction for this death then?
Go for it.
Do you want to hear it?
Wait a minute.
What?
Got to prepare myself. I'm
Okay,
gonna tuck
all right,
this
so-
into my belt.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
let's go.
Tuck
Let's
it
hear-
back to your butt crack. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Thank you for thinking that it's that long.
you're welcome. So, dude, what? It's like a half an inch away from the back of your sack. Anyway,
I thought you were meaning like the top of my
Oh,
crack.
yeah.
I thought you were talking about the top of my crack, like when I bend over, people are like, is that a mushroom in your pants?
It's like
or
a
is that your
Saiyan
dick
tail on him.
going
Okay,
all
so-
the way up?
All right. So here's what. Okay, so if I'm talking about the two trailers we've gotten. There's the shot of Loki in the first trailer handing over the Tesseract.
And he looks rough.
He looks worried. Okay, and then there's the shots of here of Thor looking like he's having his head crushed.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's also Loki standing with the Black Order. And Proxima Midnight's got her spear drawn on him.
Yeah.
Right? So what I think is happening here is that is the Asgardian ship that they're all on. All the Asgardians pretty much get wiped out. Hulk, I think, just somehow gets transported out, but they all get wiped out. Thanos comes for penance, basically, for Loki fucking up in the first Avengers movie, because he was supposed to give Thanos the Tesseract.
Right.
So we know that Loki swiped the Tesseract at the end of Ragnarok.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what happens is they wreak havoc. Thanos just beats the shit out of Thor. So with him standing there next to the Guardian or the Black Order, Loki's basically saying, "Oh, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to trade the Tesseract for Thor's life. Like I'll give you the Tesseract, just let Thor go." Right, and that's when he's crushed, what it looks like crushing Thor's head. I think they're actually making Thor watch Loki's murder at the hands of the Black Order.
Yeah. When you said Loki, that was like not the whole thing word for word, but that is pretty much what was going through my head. That's why I was like, fuck, you just like, yeah, because it makes sense, because I forgot all about Loki fucking betraying fucking Thanos. Like he was supposed to do a job
I don't
for
think
Thanos.
he betrayed him. He just failed. And
Yeah,
then,
he failed and
never
like,
showed
it's
up
like,
again.
Yeah, and then it's like it's never mentioned again and everything. So essentially, think about it. Loki's in hiding from Thanos.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's the first thing that would pop
Which
in
is
my head.
kind of maybe the reason why he faked his own death in the first place and took over as Odin. So, like, if Thanos ever came looking, he's like, "Oh, I'm just Odin. I don't know what happened to Loki." A quick side note: I did see an article today that said that the writers of Winter Soldier, all the Captain America movies and Infinity War, at the end of Age of Ultron, when we see Thanos go, "Fine, I'll do it myself," and he grabs the gauntlet, they're like, "We don't know what that was about. We don't know where he was. We didn't write that movie, so that scene is basically discarded from it. Like, it has no bearing on anything."
That's really depressing because I really like that scene.
I like the scene,
It
but at the
is a
same
cool
time,
scene, if they can make it fit. If they can't, then it's like
they basically said, "Look, that wasn't our movie.
Right.
We didn't do anything." So, I just thought that was interesting. All right, we ready to go on to the next topic?
I think we pretty much covered
Infinity
it then.
Gauntlet. Yeah.
What we'll do in the future is we'll all get together and we'll talk about the Infinity War movie, and we'll give a good long review. I mean, this movie's going to need unpacked. We'll probably do a 2-parter review on this one. Sorry, James, if you're listening. I don't think we're going to cross channels. I think we're just going to do part 1 and part 2 here on this channel. But okay, so the next thing I wanted to get into was the Venom synopsis. The synopsis for the Venom movie has apparently leaked. Now, I want to kind of preface this with saying that there's nothing official about this. This is just a leaked synopsis, and people are running with it and talking about it. So take this as a grain of salt. With a grain of salt, take it as what you will. But so here's the synopsis. I kind of wrote it in like bullet points, so forgive me if it does, because it wasn't written out, right? Like, it's just people who
I'm
take the
excited
information.
to hear this.
All right, so
I haven't heard anything about it.
I think Kyle's got Venom, right?
He does.
All right, so Kyle,
So-
be ready to have your taint smashed in.
Josh and I are completely blank on this. We have no idea what this is.
Yeah, we have
we're hearing
no
it for
idea.
the first time.
Yeah, you guys are going to be hearing this for the first time. All right, so apparently Eddie Brock was just recently released from jail. His wife, played by Michelle Williams, he also has a daughter. When he comes home to see his wife and daughter, his daughter doesn't recognize him.
Sandman in Spider-Man 3.
Literally what?
Keep listening.
Keep going.
The government uses his family to get to Eddie. Devastated that his daughter didn't recognize him, he goes on a drinking bender. He passes out in the woods where a symbiote attaches to him, apparently from like shipwreckage or something. The government shows up. A second symbiote shows up. They capture the second symbiote. A third one apparently hightails it out with the scientist and like kills the scientist. And then so then they go and they experiment on Eddie. The symbiote kills some scientists while they're experimenting on him. Eddie escapes to San Francisco. The symbiote only appears as black veins and tendrils when he needs it to. So you don't, when you see
So
Venom,
he's not wearing a suit.
you don't see the Venom costume. You only see it like his veins in his body look black, and like the tendrils will come out when he needs them to. Okay. Then there's Venom comes into contact with the escaped symbiote, and it freaks out, and then that's when we get the full costume. But apparently this is only for the last 2 or 3 minutes of the movie. Then there's no mention of that the other symbiote is Carnage, and then apparently it leaves it off on a big cliffhanger with another symbiote. That's what we get as far as the Venom synopsis. What are your thoughts, Dallas? You look very confused.
What? If this is official.
If it's again,
we're assuming in this discussion it's official by the way we're talking about the film.
right? We know that it's not.
Right.
But if this is what we have, this is all we have to go off of.
What? I'm sorry, but you're adding too much in the mix for a franchise that's supposedly separate from the MCU, first off, but still attached somehow, shape, or form, because Venom is a Marvel character.
No, he's a Sony character.
Not Disney Marvel. I mean, he's a Marvel comic book character.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So, distancing yourself a little bit, I get it. And distancing yourself from the comics a little bit, I get it. But the 3 different symbiotes, and then not having the suit at all until the last 2 minutes, which I think is what everybody's waiting for, is to seeing the picture of the suit, and they're excited to see Venom done right.
Yeah,
on
there
film.
was mention in the synopsis that at one point, I think we see this in trailers when there's like cars being hit away, that like the symbiote forms into a shield and it kind of like pushes it out, but you don't see the suit envelop over him.
This sounds more like the video game prototype than it does Venom.
It really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. That's all.
It doesn't. I'll tell you what, it doesn't get me fucking excited. What about you, Josh?
Okay.
It's bad that we all have to start out with okay.
Okay, so like when I first heard about this movie, I was really pumped because Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock sounds perfect to me. But the more I keep hearing about it, this sounds like a really bad like sci-fi horror film.
This feels like a 90s Marvel movie.
It feels like a 90s Marvel movie / a 90s alien.
So a 90s
horror
Marvel
movie.
movie on sci-fi.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, I don't know. I kind of dig the idea of the black veins.
Yeah,
like when he gets mad.
But
the
in place of the symbiote suit,
in
as
place
a whole,
of the symbiote suit, though, I don't like that. I like the fact that maybe like when he's like putting the suit on, when the suit comes on, like maybe you first see it come out of the veins and whatnot. But I don't know. It sounds like something Sony would do, though.
Yeah,
it really does sound like a Sony movie.
I'll give you my take on this. I never wanted to see a Venom movie. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to see a solo Venom movie. Never have. No. When they announced this movie, I didn't care. Even when they announced Tom Hardy, didn't care. To me, Venom is not a character that works on his own. He's honestly not even a character I really care about much in the comic books. The only thing that was ever cool about Venom was the look of him. But as a character himself, I've never found him interesting. I've never found that he can hold his own title for very long. He doesn't hold my interest. This movie does nothing to make me think otherwise. This is a movie I don't care about.
Well, the thing is, too, is you're right.
It's like Wonder Woman 2 casting Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. This is how much I fucking care.
I mean, to be honest, let's be honest. I think there's a lot of Venom fans out there.
But are they fans of the character, or are they just fans that he's a black-looking Spider-Man?
No, that's exactly what it is.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not fans because of the story. Like, oh, the storyline's so great. Because even Lethal Protector, which is probably the best Venom storyline, but that's saying very little.
Wasn't it like 4 issues? It's
4 issues, and it's really it's a decent storyline. It's not like a great one. I wouldn't really recommend people go out there. If somebody asked me, is it good enough to read? I'd go, yeah, but I would. There's so many other things to be reading before that.
Yeah.
But the one thing that's always like attracted, like for me, like for Venom, the one thing that I've always liked is the fact it goes hand in hand with Spider-Man, and we don't have that.
Yeah.
I mean, down to
he's supposed
not
to
just
be
down
the
to
mirror
the
opposite
relationship
of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that's what he's supposed to be.
Not just down to the relationship, but the way that the character looks cool. The reason why the character looks cool is because it's still showing resembles things of Spider-Man from
that's where it got its look, because it had Spider-Man first. That's how he has the web swinging abilities.
Yeah,
that's
why he has a spider on his fucking chest.
That's why he can negate the spider sense. It's like all these different things. Like everything that's cool about him is that it's like an offshoot of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
himself.
So when you take that, what ends up happening is if you take all those Spider-Man things, all the fun things that is about Venom, and you take that out because you have to because of film contracts. You end up just getting a really bad alien horror film.
Do you guys remember the term Beano? Bino.
Is that the dog from
No, shut up.
Flintstones?
No, that's Dino. Bino, it came out right around the times of The Dark Knight Rises. Bane in name only. Now we've got Venom in name only. Like, there's nothing about this that's Venom other than the name of the fucking
Wow, that
movie.
was really clever, Jake.
You like that?
Oh my god, how long did it take you to think of that?
I like the last 2
Oh
seconds
my
you were talking. I don't
God.
even remember what you said, to be honest.
You were just like, oh my god, I wasn't even listening to you. I just came up with a really cool fucking acronym.
See,
But that's the thing, though. This isn't Venom. It's just
No, it's
called
Venom in name.
The thing is, this guy's being released from jail. Eddie Brock was a journalist who got outed as a fraud by Spider-Man.
Yeah.
See, I was a Venom fan, but I only liked him going back to what you said when he was going again. And he wasn't the anti-hero Agent Venom or anything like that. When he was the villain to Spider-Man, occasionally would work against Carnage if that situation, but it wasn't
Separation
all the
anxiety.
time. Yeah, it wasn't all the time. And without Spider-Man there, what do you really have that keeps the character interesting?
Nothing. He's not an interesting character.
Going back to the way
Unless you have
that
Spider-Man.
you see him as a journalist, I like him in the Ultimate storyline where he's like he grew up with Peter Parker and he's friends with him. Like,
Oh, you mean like Spectacular Spider-Man?
Yeah, well, the Ultimate
Yeah,
Spider-Man also
no.
had it, but I like that story because that's what I was reading when I was growing
Sure.
up was that, and so I like that idea. But then again, Spider-Man came first. He had the symbiote suit. Eddie Brock got it.
I thought you were talking about Ultimate Spider-Man as in Harry Osborn was Venom.
Oh no!
No, I'm just kidding.
no.
That was just another piece of shit idea that someone came up with that came out of his watch.
No, like, don't get me wrong. Like, there's like I'm not like I don't want to badmouth it because I do like Venom to an extent. Like I do like, but like everything that I like about it all comes from Spider. Agent Venom.
Right.
You can't do an Agent Venom without Flash. Flash, you can't get Flash to being in that point of his life without Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and
you
Peter
can't
Parker.
get Matt Gargan as Venom without Spider-Man because he was Scorpion first, which was a villain of
Exactly.
Spider-Man.
Everything that's cool about Venom is actually just
From
a
Spider-Man.
branch
yeah,
off
it's like,
the tree
let's
of
make a
Spider-Man.
Mysterio movie without Spider-Man. That's
There's just
Let's
some
make a
characters
Ben
that
Riley movie without Spider-Man.
yeah. How do you?
How are we gonna do it? I don't know. We're just gonna have him clone some dude named Peter Parker.
Peter Cocker.
Peter Cocker down the
Oh,
street.
now we're just getting a porno.
Yeah.
We usually do.
Knock, knock,
It's
knock.
usually how
Hey,
it
it's my name's Peter Cocker.
My
What's
name's
yours?
Peter Puffer, the spectacular spider dick. No,
Can I be the amazing Spider-Man? Spider Dick?
yeah.
And then you can be the web of Spider Dick.
Yeah, you're just nothing but like really gross cum.
Okay, that's fine.
And then all our fans, you guys are the ultimate Spider Dick.
Yeah. But okay, I don't know. Is there anything else? I mean, again, this isn't official, so this could
Right.
be somebody just talking out their
Bullshit.
asshole. But
Like
at
Which
the-
usually happens.
But at the
Jay.
same time,
But-
if you take the first trailer and what we saw in the first trailer and
It
apply it
lines
to
up.
this, you go, yeah, there's some congruity there. So
I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
But granted, I like even when you were telling me the story and everything, like it's really hard because like I hear it and I go, yeah, that sounds like a script that Sony might do, and then
Literally, yep.
but at the same time I also go, yeah, this sounds like something that some nerd probably made up when he was 15 years old in his mom's basement.
So
like,
Yeah. I mean, I have no vested interest in this property or this movie, so I don't care. I'm sorry, Kyle, you picked another dud. But the same thing, too, is like Sony wanted to do this Silver and Black movie. Why the fuck would you make a movie about Black Cat and Silver Sable, again, with no fucking Spider-Man in sight? It just makes no sense to me. So, I don't know. I have nothing else to say on this movie other than if this is true, good luck with this movie, Sony. I don't care to see it.
let's make a Captain Cold movie without the Flash.
That would probably work better than Venom.
It
It
honestly
really
might.
would. It really would.
He has more history and background, like with Golden Glider and his sister Lisa.
By
like-
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
it's
just
not
saying
like
he
Captain
could-
Cold is like Captain Cold because of the Flash. Like
Exactly. Like
There's-
Captain
I think
Cold
there's
could work on
very
his
few
own.
villains that would work in a solo movie as the main villain, like Batman's Joker. Like
Yeah.
You
your
could-
main, I don't think there's.
I don't even want a Joker
I don't
movie,
either.
honestly.
So
That's
here's the
it.
thing.
I don't.
Here's the thing. Some of it could potentially work, but you still got to be able to connect it to the
Right.
main source, and you can't do that with this Venom movie because you can't connect it to Spider-Man. Like so.
If this is the actual script for it, and if it would have came out, 5 years from now, Tom Holland Spider-Man's already had the symbiote, moved on, I would be okay with this.
Yeah.
Because then they could try to find a way to connect it if Sony and Marvel could get their heads out of their asses.
Yeah.
But
Watch us all eat crow because, like in Infinity War, one of the spaceships that like fucking breaks apart when Thanos comes. All the wreckage just lands somewhere. That's the place that Eddie
Dude,
Brock
holy
ends up.
shit.
You know, but it's
If
I doubt
that's
it.
the case, I would be excited for this
That
movie.
would make me a little more excited for the movie. I'm not gonna lie, but because that makes me think that the possibility of Tom Holland showing up
Dude,
is.
that gets me so excited. Like the symbiote with Tom Holland, Spider-Man, and the more.
You notice how much? You
Oh my
notice-
God, we're naked, and now I know what Dallas Chubb looks like.
Oh my god. It's quite skinny and impressive though. Like I'm not gonna lie. It's like
The epitome of pencil dick.
he's a linky guy and his dick matches him. It's
Yeah.
Thanks.
long and linky.
That's what I always assumed Gumby's dick would look like.
green and everything. Like this.
Don't make me angry.
Ooh, I will
It turns
like it if
regular
it's
skin
angry.
tone when I get angry.
Oh, that's a really cool malfunction.
Yeah, that's really I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we need to say on Venom, though?
Move on.
You wanna
Yeah,
move on?
move on.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the next thing we're going to move on to is actually Dallas approached us with a little bit of a topic, so I'm actually going to let you take this away.
So this is a quick little news article discussing the Justice League in the comics. The
The comic book Justice League,
comics-
guys, the ones that are still, like, they still have somewhat of a reputation.
that are still sometimes good.
Yeah. I mean, like
Um,
all comics, they're good and bad.
Yeah, good and bad. Is it May that it's releasing? I believe it's May. In
Well,
the
this comes
summer.
after, like, the four colored teams of Justice League, or is
Right.
this existing side by side? I honestly can't
Four
remember.
color teams.
all
Are
it
they
says-
still on a page from X-Men with that?
Yeah, I
the
know,
color
right?
team?
Justice League Red.
All it says is DC is officially relaunching Justice League. That's the official title, Justice League. So I'm going with the basis of the main team of the Justice League they're relaunching. Scott Snyder's writing it.
Yeah.
Dude needs to take a vacay.
Yeah, he really should take some time off and take a sabbatical.
Well, he's going to keep the train going, so let's hope it improves.
Uh,
But we're here to discuss the team. So the
Yes.
team, who's on the team, and then who we think are definitive Justice League members.
all right, before
are.
you get to that, I want to say Jim Chung did the cover art for this issue, and it's fucking beautiful. I love
It
Jim
is.
Chung.
It's-
It's honestly what has that is where most of my interest lies right now.
Jim Chung could draw Jake's shit in a toilet, and
He
I'd
could-
still go, you know what? That's a beautiful piece of art. We need to hang that on,
Yeah.
above the mantle.
He could draw Dallas's Gumby dick, and I'd be like, "That's really
beautiful,
impressive."
yeah.
Yeah.
That's really impressive. He needs a lot longer canvas.
But all right, so what else?
The team consists of 9 members. We have Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. No surprise on those 3.
Right, Trinity.
Flash, Green Lantern, as in John Stewart.
Barry Allen Flash, by the way.
Yes. John Stewart, Green Lantern. Martian Manhunter, Hawkgirl, Aquaman, and Cyborg. So that's our 9.
Yep.
What do you guys feel about that team?
That specific team, I don't know why Cyborg's on the team, to be honest.
I agree with you on that.
We were talking earlier before the podcast. I think Cyborg is just much more at home. He has much more personality and agency as a character, alongside the Titans or the Teen Titans. His interactions with Dick and Wally and Starfire. And did you really, dude? Did you?
We were just talking about Gumby Dick, and I was about to
He's
go
like-
back to it, but I was like, nah.
He just likes to. So you guys can't see this, but right when
I said
Jake
Dick.
said Dick, Dallas just started like smiling.
I left at Starfire. What are you guys talking about?
No.
Yeah.
I saw that
Starfire.
little grin on your face for
Yeah.
me.
We were just talking about Gumby Dick.
But
I can't help it.
anyway, so
Dick.
Cyborg functions a lot better alongside
Agreed.
those guys. When you read the new 52 Justice League, and he's alongside Superman and Batman, and he's just a boring character. He's a walking computer. That's basically what they've reduced the character of Cyborg to.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to see him with the Justice League. I don't think he's a necessary component to the team.
I agree with you on that one. And we were then discussing Barry Allen versus Wally Flash, and you said similar things.
Yeah, I think
So-
Wally. I like Barry with the Justice League because I like to think that the Justice League and the Titans or Teen Titans exist alongside them,
Right.
and I would much rather have Wally as Kid Flash as opposed to Bart.
And I think I agree with you on both of those points.
Yeah, but I will say the Titans could use a Green Lantern. Kyle Rayner, you're never doing anything. Just like
I don't think that would be a bad idea.
go join
honestly.
the team, dude.
Either that or create a new lantern. I mean, fuck, they've continued to pump them out. Human lanterns.
No, if you're gonna
don't
do
do
that,
that.
we're
Yeah,
gonna get into
put in
Simon
no more
Baz,
new
Jessica
lanterns.
Cruz. Let's just Kyle Rayner. Let's just put him on the Titans with everyone else, and it can be literally like mini. The Titans can be mini Justice League, and I'd love it. But,
I do like
Yeah.
the idea of Kyle Rayner being on the Titans.
All right,
I think that would
contact
be really
DC.
cool.
Hey man, I'm full of good ideas. I'm an untapped
DC get a
well
hold
of,
of
of
them.
great ideas. So
What's your feelings?
I have to strongly agree. Cyborg is, as a person who's a fan of Perez and Wolfman's Teen Titans run, Cyborg definitely works better in Teen Titans. And Wally works best in Teen Titans. Now, don't get me wrong. I argue, like, I really like Wally. Wally's one of my favorites.
I love Wally. I don't want you to think I'm disparaging Wally because I think Barry should be the Flash.
But Wally, even though a lot of people's grown up with Wally through the Justice League cartoon, I think but I think that Wally works best in Teen Titans, our Titans.
Yeah.
I think that's what Barry adds. Barry adds that dynamic, like.
He can hold his own in a conversation with Batman and Superman,
Right.
whereas
Exactly.
like Wally almost has like this fanboy reaction to them a lot of times, and I love that about Wally. But it doesn't make me think he's a good person for the Justice League, because the Justice League needs to feel like they're all equals and colleagues, whereas Wally would feel like he's more stepping up to the big leagues, and he's not quite ready for it yet.
Yeah.
The other one thing I did want to touch on before Dallas, I know you've got some feelings, is that what Cyborg. Okay, why did no, hear me out.
Why isn't he wearing the one-piece bathing suit anymore?
Okay,
and a tiara.
Before we get too racist with our fucking impressions here,
I didn't mean to add that impression. That's how I ran.
That's really sad. That's so deeply rooted in you. You don't realize it. But
we're gonna move on. Save this.
So anyway, Cyborg. Why you guys are missing a huge opportunity to promote Shazam? Why not swap out Cyborg with Shazam and have a magic-based character on the fucking team?
I think it would work as long as the people that were writing it didn't make him fanboy like we were discussing Wally.
No, I don't.
As long as he's not like, oh my god, that's Batman. Like,
take him back
out of the way.
Take him back to classic Shazam, not New 50. Well, classic Captain Marvel, not New 52, which is like when he's Captain Marvel, he's still Billy Batson, just as a. But when Captain Marvel was original, he had Billy Batson in him, but he also had the wisdom of Solomon and the something of Hercules, all that shit. Like, he was still a man, and he was a man in a man's body, but he had little idiosyncrasies that let you know there's still a child inside of him. That is what I would prefer.
That would work. I strongly agree with that.
Plus, you have no one magic based other than unless you want to go like Justice League Unlimited with Hot Girl's mace and that being like nth metal magic shit. But
and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they tie that in.
I'm sure. Yeah, but look at Dark Knight's metal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, but then I don't disagree with you at all. Like, I think there's certain characters on here, and this is my feelings on it. I grew up with the Justice League Unlimited, so that's why I was like, I'll touch on that. But I think most of them are the definitive team for me. So John Stewart's my Green Lantern when I think of Green Lantern. But Wally's not my Flash when I think of the Justice League. He's the one exception in that group that I'm like, that's not the Flash. Hashtag not my Flash. That's not. Like, I like Wally. I do.
Even though Wally was Flash for like 20 years in the comic books, so I still get where you're coming from.
I like Wally, but like you said, I like him as Kid Flash, and I like him in the new Titans Rebirths. Like, I like that. But I don't like him being Flash. Like, in Justice League Unlimited and Justice League, it's fine. Like, the humor fits in that series. But when I think comics and I'm reading continuity, like, I don't want to have Wally as Flash and in my Justice League.
Yeah, a character I didn't even think about really is, why is Aquaman there? I mean,
I feel like they're just keeping him around.
Yeah, I like Aquaman as a character. Don't get me wrong,
but...
and I've talked highly about the new Aquaman series and even Jeff Johns' Aquaman in New 52. Don't really see a need for him in this team, though.
I always liked the Morrison, like we've discussed this.
Yeah,
I know you disagree with me
I don't like the
strongly,
Grant Morrison one, but that's
I
fine.
like his attitude. I don't want anything to do with you. I'm on my own. He can't accept his water being, and he can't accept his Atlantean, and he can't accept human, and he's drunk. Like, I like that, and that's why I don't think he fits on this team, because that's who I envision with him.
I think that's also a lot taking your cues from Namor, because that's basically Namor, and I honestly wouldn't mind seeing Aquaman for a while take a more of a Namor role in the DC universe, and just let his Aquaman title be very secluded.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just let Aquaman deal with Atlantean stuff. I think that would be an interesting thing. I don't need to see him crossing over to the Justice League too much.
So, don't disagree with your point on that, because that's the way I see Aquaman is kind of like that, kind of a separate being. Like, he kind of like Batman. He's there when he's needed, but he's not a team player. I'm putting air quotes, team player.
Yeah, Batman's also pretty useless, but you can't have Justice League without Batman, so I'm going to concede that point.
So, like, if I'm building my team, I'm taking Cyborg out because I'm not picturing Batman going toe-to-toe with Darkseid. He's going to be the tactician back planning it. I don't need Cyborg and Batman doing the same thing.
Well, not only that, but John Stewart is also a tactician.
Well, yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what he does.
You're getting too much there with the tactician sitting back, useless characters. I'm not saying John Stewart's useless. But
no, but it's just like, there's a lot of overlap of the same ability, and you should probably be spreading this team out to make them more of a cohesive unit. they all bring something specific to the table. You know.
So, off of that, who's your definitive Justice League?
Mine?
Josh.
Well, you got the Trinity, so I keep the Trinity on there.
All right.
I always dug Martian Manhunter. Always one of my favorite Justice League members.
Yeah,
Very
you know what?
underutilized.
Why not put him in the Justice League? Because the guy obviously can't carry his own title, and I don't like to think that the idea of Martian Manhunter is just out, like just not around.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly. He works better with the Justice League than he does on his own.
And he's a shapeshifter, so
Yeah.
there's some good spy shit you can do there.
Barry Flash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hal Green Lantern.
All right, so you're at 6.
I would keep. Really don't care. Hawkeye or Hawk Girl or Hawk Guy. I don't really give a shit.
Hawkman.
Yeah, Hawkman. Hawkman.
It just sounds too similar to Hawkeye. You know?
I like
really
Hawkeye.
does. That's,
yeah.
But, well, actually, in the comic books, he's called Hawk Guy now because Kate Bishop. But whatever, we're
Yeah.
not going to do on that.
That was a Matt Fraction run
Yeah,
too.
I just keep thinking Hawk Guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hawkman or Hawk Lady, whatever.
You can take them or leave them.
Yeah, well, I feel like they need to have one of them on there. I don't
Okay,
really give
I
a
got
shit
you.
which one. And then I would probably take Cyborg out because we don't need him, and I'd put Green Arrow in.
Damn it! That was I
Really?
thought that was going to be the one person that no one would have thought of. That
I would
put
put
on my
Green
team.
Arrow in, and I really hate saying this, but I feel the same way about Aquaman. I want to keep him in there just because I feel like I can't look at Justice League without an
Without him.
Aquaman.
Yeah. He's a pivotal part of the team. It feels like he's just like an iconic part of the Justice League to you, you know.
Yeah.
But you also,
But I would like, to be honest, I agree with you on the Captain Marvel thing. I would like to have a magic-based character on there. And when you go through all the people that's in DC that's magic-based, you got Zatanna, I don't feel like would be good in Justice League. You got Constantine, definitely wouldn't be good in the
Dr.
Justice League.
Fate.
Dr. Fate,
he's not a team player.
He's
though.
not a team player. I mean, you got Spectre and other people.
Yeah, I mean,
they
you
all
start-
don't
yeah.
work. The only one that does work is Captain Marvel.
Right.
But at the same time, I think I have to keep Aquaman on there.
That's fine. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
just
not
because
against
I
keeping
can't
Aquaman.
imagine. Well, you know what? Scratch it. See, I keep going back. I'm going to go with Captain Marvel because
He's gonna change it
because
again.
I'm
Keep
sitting here
listening.
thinking about it, and I think that I would much rather see. I think Aquaman would be like what you said. I think Aquaman would be a better book if it was by itself. A better character if he was by himself, not with that team.
Right.
Because
But
I
I mean,
think
he
you
could also
can
do what Batman does: is have 9 different titles and still be
you
in
can't
Justice League.
you can't
so.
dive too much into that character and give you more reason to like that character if he's with the team, because you're focused on all the characters as a whole and how they all interact with each other. Aquaman would be better if you could just focus on just him. So I think I'd agree with that. I think Captain Marvel would be a good person to put in there. Good call.
Thank you.
I take Aquaman out, but I take Cyborg out and I put Green Arrow in.
I think
That's
he-
interesting.
I think he
I wouldn't
basically just.
I love Green Arrow.
I think he took my team.
Literally the same thing.
I
you
literally
think so?
word for word. I mean, member for
What
member.
about
so,
the Hawkman?
No, I don't
Hawkman,
give a
Dad.
fuck about Carter Hall or I mean now she's called Aisha or what is it?
Aisha?
Is it Aisha? Oh fuck!
Yes.
Why can't I think of her
think
name?
so.
But yeah, so okay, just in case.
I would like to have one of them on there just because I think it kind of fits the look. But other than
I mean,
that,
if
I
you
really
had,
don't give a shit which one it
original
is.
like JSA had Hawkman and stuff like that,
Right.
so why not? But yeah, here would be my team. I'd go the Trinity. So you got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. I'd go Green Arrow, Captain Marvel. I don't know. I'd just keep it at them, and you could always bring in somebody like the Atom. You know, I think the Atom, somebody
Well,
who
he
can
would bring
shrink down to
something
size.
interesting to
Yeah,
the team.
but he's also a scientist. But he's like a Hank
Right.
Pym.
Well, see, that's one thing that, I mean, I'll go back to the cartoons.
Assuming we're talking about Ray Palmer.
Justice
okay.
League Unlimited, that was kind of like a nice little thing. It was like you had your team, your main team, but they always threw in a new character that was a Justice League,
Right.
in a couple of episodes.
There were so many characters I didn't even know existed. Because
Exactly.
that, like Jonah Hex, he was in a flashback
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't even
Booster
realize, like,
Gold.
watching that growing up, like,
You know what I'd honestly like to see though? I mean, this is
Blue
kinda-
Beetle.
No.
5.
no.
What I would like to do is I would like to actually see in Batman Beyond we saw a version of the Justice League.
Yes.
And it was like a grown-up version of Terry McGinnis as Batman, a grown-up version as Virgil Hawkins as Static Shock. Like I
Yeah.
think that would be really cool to see like a future version of the Justice League.
Man, I would
See-
really like to see a Static Shock in a movie, but
I would really like to see a Static Shock comic book come back. But
I would
They
too.
have a future Justice League in the Batman Beyond run, but it's
Yeah.
still Superman, and then you have a Lantern, and I forget his name off the
yeah,
top
he's
of my
like
head.
some Asian
Yeah.
bald Asian kid.
You have
and, yeah.
Aquaman's
Bald
daughter.
Asian
You have Aquaman's daughter. So, I mean, it's
You also
still
have like
so
the,
many of the
the
same.
son of John Stewart and Hot Girl.
Yeah.
But
Warhawk.
Yeah, that was his
But
name. Yeah.
like, it's still so similar to the Justice League Unlimited main, and I would like that though if you did a future one with Static Shock.
Yeah, I think-
and branched off and showed these different characters that didn't get the appreciation.
Man, I love Static Shock.
I do too.
Hey,
But
yeah.
okay, so that would be my team. It'd be those 7. Again, I think when I think Aquaman, I do think he is a staple of the Justice League. But I think it'd be cool to bring in some other ones, and I think Green Arrow always it brings just such a fun dynamic. Plus,
Yeah.
I love the idea of Hal, Barry, and Ollie all standing around hanging out.
Yeah, I did.
So-
Like that's the same thing I was thinking when I was like
And just
when
how
you guys
much that would piss off Batman.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Batman would get so fucking annoyed with those
when we
three.
talked about this was what we were going to talk about. I was sitting here thinking the same thing. I was like, I really dig the Green Arrow right now because of the Green Arrow run. But I'm just sitting here going like, man, I'd like to just read one comic book of just nothing but just Oliver and then Barry and Hal just like chilling, and then there's like this weird friendship triangle. Like, no, Hal's my best friend. No, Hal's my best friend. Like this weird triangle. I
Super Friends.
yeah, like super friends.
That's what it's called.
Super
Yeah,
friends.
super friends.
They super friends.
Hey, oh no, those guys, they're super friends. The racist voice came back.
I
Oh, God.
wasn't gonna touch it. I was letting you go.
No, we definitely did like a little blaxploitation there.
Super friends.
I wasn't in this. I want
Yeah.
to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, Dallas?
Just the team, I guess. Honestly, Shazam, Captain Marvel, I feel like would be a really good fit in there, Magic base. So I would sub out probably Cyborg. I'd probably take out Hawk Girl, Hawk Guy, or Man,
Hawk
and Aquaman.
Man.
But I love that Martian Manhunter's finally getting attention again on his
Yeah.
own.
Did I not include Martian Manhunter in mine?
I think you said it when
You
he
said
said
it was
but I
pretty
don't
much
think
my-
you named
Okay,
it.
Okay, yeah.
team
So
I
okay,
had.
so if
Nice,
I
yeah.
didn't, then okay, my 8th would be Martian Manhunter. Again, not a character I think can hold his own title, but works really well with the team. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Watching that watchtower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All on the
Plus, I
watchtower.
think if you got guys like Ollie and Hal and John Jones, you could do some really cool spy shit, like some,
Oh yeah.
they could do some undercover stuff. I think it'd be a lot of fun. That's what I
Yeah.
want to see. I want to see the Justice League, like, not just saving the world and, like, world threats, but, like, let's see them do some smaller missions together.
yeah,
I think
some
that'd be-
recon shit.
Yeah, because it's always, like, some fucking global catastrophe with
Usually
these people.
is, yeah.
So, like, let's see them have to just kind of do some shit down on Earth and keep a low profile.
Honestly, this run sounds like it's going to be some world-ending shit, and they're going to have to save them.
Yeah, what
But
else is new?
Putting that aside,
Yeah.
but that was basically the
That's
concept.
Snyder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. All right, guys, does anybody else have anything to talk about?
Well, we talked about your shredded bod. We talked about Dallas's gummy penis. Shall we talk about? Oh, we talked about my penis being able to wrap up into the top of my butt crack and look like a mushroom hiding in my butt crack.
I was more thinking like a Saiyan's tail, but I know you're not a Dragon Ball Z fan either, so.
Oh well, no.
I enjoyed the humor.
Thank
But you know what? It's funny. I got a Saiyan's tail. Would you like to hear it?
No, I don't know. I don't need to
Can
hear
I tell you?
No,
It's a really
T-A-L-E.
quick one.
Nope.
No, it's a really quick
Nope.
one.
Okay, guys. Okay, really quick before we end out here, I actually have a kind of a cool idea. If we don't have the next time we don't really have a topic to talk about, I think it'd be kind of an interesting look at things if we all kind of debated on if the lantern rings existed in the Marvel universe and what character would wear what color ring.
Ooh, I like that.
So I think
Ooh.
that would be something that could be fun to do if we have time next week and we don't have much to talk about. So, guys, if that sounds interesting to you, let us know in advance what characters you think would wear what color ring and why.
and then we'll call you a fucking dumbass.
Yeah, because you will totally be wrong.
Hey, wait a minute. Can we also mention that there is already an Iron Lantern?
Well, that wasn't like an amalgam.
That was an amalgam.
Yeah, but I will say already off the top of my head, obviously Hulk's gonna be wearing a red ring, right?
What? That doesn't make any sense.
But
What
then
are you
the
talking
guy's
about?
gonna look like Captain Christmas with the red and green. So
Hulk, save Christmas!
Santa Hulk.
Santa Hulk!
But all right, guys, I think that is all we've got for you this week. Thanks so much for listening in. If you guys liked anything that we had to say, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Of course, like always, subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell notification so you can be notified every time we upload a new video. And share it with your friends if you feel it was informative. And, of course, comment below on your thoughts on anything that we talked about. How do you guys feel? What did you guys think about the Avengers trailer?
What do you guys think about Dallas's gummy penis?
What do you think about Dallas's gummy penis? Pictures in the comment section below.
You gotta get so many dick pics.
Oh, yeah. What do you guys think about the Venom synopsis that's
The
supposedly
Venom
leaked?
penis.
Yep. And what would be your ideal team of Justice League members?
Justice League penis.
Justice League penis. That's the next porn we'll shoot here at Comic Relief. Thanks for listening, guys.